All right. Yeah, the lighting sucks. All right. Hey Gladwell, how are you, man?
How you doing, Vito?
Good. We'll pretend we just started. Um, so today let's talk about um what was the topic?
Cancel culture?
That's it. Cancel culture.
Yeah.
What do you think of you told me your age, so I know we're the same. You, you, everybody seems to be getting canceled if they find stuff about you from 10, 15 years ago that if you're not on the right side or whatever, you're gone. You're canceled. You're screwed. Your business, whatever, anything you're doing, you're done. Which I find disturbing, incredibly disturbing.
To say the least.
I don't get how it just seems like you got to be on one side and you're fine. You can do whatever you want. An example: Sarah Silverman did blackface or did something really uh, uh, bad, whatever that they would consider bad. So she's fine though. But if it's some other comic or whatever, they will absolutely destroy you. And do you think that this is going to go away? Like, do you think that this is something that um, I don't know? Like, do you think this is something that is going to get worse, or do you think? Because
Well,
I've never seen it like this.
I think it'll get worse and then it'll go away. It's like McCarthyism. McCarthyism was pretty big back in the, what was that, 40s, 50s?
I think so. Was it when the studios, if they
Right.
thought you were a communist,
Yep.
they would uh, even if
Blackball you or
blacklist
blacklist
you
you.
from they God, who was that comedian that a lot of actors that happened to uh, I remember I saw a documentary on that years ago and it was brutal. Like these guys didn't work for
Yeah.
years.
Well, you saw that movie Trumbo? He started writing under pseudonyms. He won an Academy Award, but he couldn't use his real name, so nobody knew who he was.
Who's this? Say that again. Who is it?
Trumbo. I forgot his
From
first name. He was a Hollywood writer. Uh, what's his name? The guy that does Breaking Bad. He played him in the movie.
oh, okay, I know the guy from Breaking Bad, but I've never seen the movie about this guy.
It's pretty good. Louis C.K. was in it. He played one of the blacklisted writers.
Oh, that's
But
yeah, yeah. But that's what I mean. You got to hide. You got it now. See, back then you could hide. Now you
yeah, yeah.
can hide. Now
Well,
you
too.
can't.
That's also when the rise of science fiction movies came about because they could still do a social commentary about communism, but they had to disguise it as like outer space aliens. So that's why you had Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You had all those movies submerging or emerging because that was during the time you couldn't really say what you wanted to say, so you had to disguise it as a.
Right, right. No, that's really smart though. That's really smart. Only a few people would have caught on. Uh, I mean, the regular public wouldn't have caught on, but studio heads and people in the business, um, they would have known exactly what this person's up to. Who was that comic I'm thinking of that he got blacklisted? I don't know if it was Zero Mostel or Jackie Jackie Nason, where his career was going awesome. A lot of these people, a lot of actors, their career was going fantastic. And then all of a sudden, once you get blacklisted, you're done. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what's going on today, where you look at it, you just go, you're blacklisted. Okay, so you're telling me it's like going to jail, pretty much. So it's like, oh yeah, it'll get better in a few years. Okay, give it 10, 15 years. So if you're in your 30s and give it 15 years, it'll be 55 and nobody
Four,
wants you after
45.
45 or whatever. You're 45.
Yeah.
In especially in if you're in entertainment or in anything, that's your livelihood. That's everything. Your dreams, everything gets taken away. just because you don't think a certain way, or I don't see. I remember a time when uh, Reagan. Yeah, and I was super young, but I remember it would show Reagan uh, having those dinners, the presidential dinners once a year or something, and they would
Hmm.
bring out a comedian, and they would be the Democrats and the Republicans there. Do you ever remember that? And they would
I
do
yeah.
it was fine because they would joke around, and I like the two parties, they didn't like each other, but it wasn't as like it is absolutely venomous now.
Well, at that time they still had overlapping ideas, you know,
Yeah.
so there was still a middle ground. Now there's nothing even close to it. Like you can't have anything to do with the other party,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah. Like, did you see how, what's her name? Tulsi Gabbard. What's her name? The good looking girl, good looking woman. She's from Hawaii, and she changed over from a Democrat to a Republican, and all hell broke loose. Like, you watch a little bit of it on the news, and it's just like she's like a Judas, and I'm like, you can't even change your thought. Like, if you don't agree, if I don't agree with you, um, we could argue about it.
Right.
But if we were friends, I find it absolutely disturbing that we would just end our friendship just on we don't agree on the color purple. We're like all of a sudden, uh, you're an outcast. You're garbage. You're anything you say. You got a family. Who cares? Let them starve.
But
That to me is just pure evil.
and the thing is too, like I'm no Trump supporter, but
Neither am I. I'm Canadian.
everybody is attacking Trump. But it's not gonna be long before the left gets their own version of Trump. You know. So I mean,
Who do you think would be their version?
I have no idea. I've been a Democrat my whole life. All my friends are Republicans. So, but now, like, I don't know if I can vote Democrat because what's going on. Because they're going so far to the other side that I mean, they're having what are those drag queen family friendly drag queen shows? Have you seen these?
I saw a little bit of it on the. See up here, we've got a, a teacher. I don't know if you saw it. That has like giant,
Oh, yeah, I've
like
seen
I
her.
mean giant,
Yeah,
and
shop teacher, right?
yeah, it's a shop teacher.
Yeah.
Which you remember your shop teacher when I was in school? My shop teacher, it was like, guys, stop screwing around. Like and then I mean, if my shop teacher showed up like that, I don't know. Like I would see. This is the rumor about this person, and for those people that don't know, it's on the news. This guy's got like, I mean, they're not even boobs.
Cartoonish. Yeah.
They're beyond cartoonish. They're just these giant boobs with giant. You can see the
Yeah.
nipples sticking out,
Now those
and
are fake, right? Those aren't implants. That's fake,
no
right?
way. If there were implants, that would kill him.
Yeah.
Like
All
he'd
right.
die. There is no way. There. I'm not even kidding you. I wish I could show a picture of it, but it's weird. Gladwell, it's weird to like. I understand if you want to be a woman, like if you want to wear a dress, and that's your life. If you want to have boobs or whatever, but to me, I just find it weird, like disturbing that you would show up like one day, like I want to be a woman, so this is my idea of a woman: giant jugs. Uh, he wears a mini skirt, and I don't know the kid. Like you got to see it. It's just the students, teachers, not the teachers, the parents are going crazy. And I understand why they're going. This guy's not like I get it. Like if you want to be a woman. But this guy's kind of like being kind of perverted about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a guy say, like they showed him walking down. It looked like he or she, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he changed his name or, but he was walking down, like he's working with the students. And I said, like somebody said, he's trying to get fired so he could sue. Right. And I'm
I
thinking,
I thought he was close to being fired, so he started doing that so they couldn't fire him.
you think so? Because I
I
said, is
That's
this
what I
guy,
heard.
is he trolling or is she trolling?
Don't get canceled. Not
Yeah.
on this episode.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a joke because I said, is this person trolling? And they said,
It
oh, yeah, for sure.
it has to be.
But if Gladwell, why would you want, like, I get it if you want to troll, but it gets to the point where you should have seen the meetings at the school. They were showing on the news. Parents were just taking their kids out of school, uh, screaming, yelling, calling the school board morons, every name in the book. Um, there's a guy named David Menzies. He dressed up same way during the school meeting, and he had a petition to get this person fired. And I get it. If you want to be a woman, all power to you. If you want to be a woman, be a woman. Or if you want to change your name, whatever you want to do. But if you don't agree, if I sat there and I said, I don't agree with this person teaching my child, all of a sudden I get canceled for that.
Yeah. Well, now you're transphobic.
Now I'm transphobic. But like I've even seen trans people say, this person does not um,
Represent us, or
represent us.
but who are they to say that that person doesn't represent them? You know?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Like you don't know who you're going to offend. Uh, like, would I be comfortable with this person teaching my 13-year-old son? No. You know what I mean? Like I would just go, this has got to be a joke.
Well, you know how confusing that must be for like a 13-year-old. Like they're just hitting puberty. They're seeing those
Exactly.
giant breasts, and they're like, I'm slightly aroused, but it's a man, and so now I'm confused.
Yeah, it used to
Yeah.
be a balding man last week. Um, and now this balding man has got, I'm not kidding you, man. Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah, I've seen them.
They are absolutely they make Chesty LaRue look like she's wearing a training bra compared to this person.
Well,
So
okay, I know you said you used to interview porn stars. What is Claudia Marie thinking with that? What she's been doing?
who's Claudia Marie?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
She keeps getting those implants bigger and bigger. And now they're like she does stuff with Kayla Cleavage, where it's like you see the veins of their brushes hanging
Oh
down
yeah,
because
it's just it's like no, I last time I interviewed, they're boring Gladwell to interview
yeah,
because I really wanted to know how do you, because most of them that do the movies, their um, their husbands are filming
right.
or boyfriends or whatever. But I found it really weird that their husbands would let them do this and be fine with it. And to me, I'm like, your husband's kind of pimping you out like that.
it's it's a
That's
strange
what
world over there, you
it's
know.
really weird, and they don't they it's some of them are cool. Like I talked to Kimmy Kaboom, who's a really, she's down to earth person, and you get to talk to her because I thought it was going to be it wasn't something to get me off. Trust me, I could like it was just something where how do you like you got into the business, do you like the business? There's a heck of a lot of STDs out there. A lot of them have herpes, a
Hmm.
form of herpes, so which is a big secret. And I just thought, why would you want to get into a business where you could get love bumps? I mean, it's just to me, I just found it weird. And it's sad because we'll do this and we'll get like 30 people, if I'm lucky, 30 people. If you were a porn star with big boobs, and I'm talking about how many people you've been with, there'd be 2,000 people watching this video, but which I find sad, I find sad because if you listen to the adult stars, they're boring, except for when I see my childhood, when I grew up, when I was a kid, I watched adult movies and I had, a crush on Seika.
Right.
Everybody had a crush on that woman. Now she's an old woman, but she's
So,
still, to me, beautiful.
well,
So
she's still working too.
is she still working?
Hmm.
No,
I'm pretty sure. Seika Black.
no, I'm
Uh,
talking about Seika, the
yeah,
blonde.
yeah, the
Seika.
Swedish one. I think.
No, no, she's American, Seika.
But she was in all the '70s.
Yeah, she was in the
Yeah,
70s.
yeah.
No, her name wasn't Seika Black. She was known as the Platinum Princess.
Right, but there's a woman now. She's like in her '60s, '70s, and it says Seika Black. So I don't.
No,
It
that's a
it looks
different
like her. All right. Well,
Gladwell. It's got to be a different person because when I interviewed, this is Seika, I interviewed her about 3 years ago. She was so sweet. It was so weird because when you're talking to her, you're going, "Oh my God, I pleasured myself a million and one times thinking of, my VCR tape, VCR. People are like, that's a VCR. My VCR, that machine I destroy. How many times I'd watch her, and I was
Mhm.
just like, oh, I'm in love with her. I'm in love with her. Then I got to talk to her, and it was wonderful. She was just this wonderful. I remember making her laugh, and it was very important to me to make her laugh. And she was thrilled because she loved the questions. She would text me after and go, I love the questions that you asked me. You didn't ask when I told her I interviewed, um, what's her name? Lisa Sparks, I had to interview Lisa Sparks because um, she was the girl that was with 919 guys. Yeah, I'm not making
She
919.
she couldn't do 920.
No, well, she wanted to go 1,000, but they ran out of guys, right? This is all messed up. So I'm talking to her, and she's also she was really nice to me, and she wasn't rude or anything. She was really nice. But even when I told Seika that, Seika was like, that's disgusting. She's like, and this is a porn star talking about another porn star going, that is absolutely disgusting. 919 guys. See, back then when Seika was, in the business, there was always the same guy in the same movie,
Yeah,
right?
it was
The
like four
same,
guys.
yeah,
Same
the
four guys.
same 4 or 5 guys, and these guys would have a wonderful time, uh, because they would always, and it's not like today. So Seika was like, yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. 919 guys, yuck. And um,
What is that?
yeah,
What is
she
that?
just,
What does that green room look like with 900 guys in there?
oh, it was disgusting. It was like, it wasn't even, tell you the truth, I watched about, once I saw it for about 3 minutes. That's why I was like, I got to interview her because she was pretty much treated like a piece of meat. There was
Right.
no, like, it was just like, it was like literally people walking up, they have exactly 1 minute and there's a lineup behind her. It was disturbing, man. It wasn't anything where you're going, it's not like when I would watch Seika in the 70s, early 80s, when there was a kind of a storyline to it. As fishy as it sounds,
Yeah,
it was kind of a turn on that there would be a storyline.
a
Now,
cinematic element.
yeah, now it's just there's a table, they could do it anywhere, and it would be like there would be no, like, if you told a girl back in the 70s or 80s or even, I think early 90s, if you said we're gonna try and go for the gangbang record, we're gonna go for 1,000 guys, no girl would do that. No girl would do that. So I just found it weird, and that's why I wanted to I just had a fascination. I just want to know what goes through your mind. Why do you, I mean, you're taking your clothes off, everybody could see you, you're having sex in front of a camera. It's not like being alone. You're in a room with 10 other people watching you as a sound person. There's the director. How do you, I mean, how do you, whatever. So that was, it was my curiosity. And yeah, there were a joy. Some were a joy to talk to. Some were completely, I mean, I talked to Kay Parker, and
I don't know that
she
one.
was the girl, she was the woman in Taboo.
All right, back then.
Yeah. And
All
it was like anyway, she's nuts, legitimately nuts.
right.
Like she thought she was an Egyptian princess that was massacred by a bunch of pirates or something. And she says she remembers all this stuff. And I like, it wasn't an interview. It was like you couldn't see her face. Like you couldn't see our faces. It was just sound. And and I told her, I go, if you gotta go, just say, I go, give me a code. Well, I give you a code word. And she would sit there and say this code word. And she would constantly say this code word, but the stuff she was talking about was absolutely nuts. And then the comments that I was getting was uh, it was weird. Like the comments were like they were sticking up for her, and I just thought, I wasn't trying to be mean, but it's hard not to, like any of my interviews, I try not to piss the person off or whatever. I think it's, I just want to have a discussion. And it was just absolutely, it was like talking to a crazy person,
Now,
you know.
what if it? What if she really can't remember that and she is telling the truth and it's not crazy? Then what happens?
Then we're
That,
screwed.
like
We
she's
really are.
actually.
So what do you think? So what do you think the future holds for cancel culture? Like, what do you think?
I think it's gonna be about another 5, 10 years, same shit. Maybe getting a little more. I think it's starting to kind of decline already. Like once we got through the whole Me Too movement, because you don't hear a
Yeah.
lot about this stuff now, you know.
Well,
But
do you notice that it's like it's gotten really, it went like really crazy, the whole Me Too, like it just went like you could, it got to the point where um if somebody said at a party 35 years ago, you 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 did something to me 35 years ago, that would cost that person their job just by, like, no proof, no nothing, just me saying this is what this person did. And for me, Gladwell, I'm like, you got to have some proof. Like, I understand
yeah,
something bad happened. If something did happen to you bad, like 30, 40 years ago, we got to have some proof. You can't just, it's like the Salem witch hunt, about the witch, when people would just go, that's a witch.
right.
And all you needed was another person to say, oh yeah, I've seen her change into a cat.
And then how did you prove you weren't? They'd throw you in a well, and if you
Yes,
drowned, then you weren't a witch.
yes,
So
exactly.
so you were fucked either way.
Yes, that's the thing that I go, you're really just, it's really bad, man. Like, it just, you're giving the person no, it's either black or white, no in between, no.
Don't be careful what you say.
Yeah,
Black or white. Watch out.
yeah, exactly. And it's just, it gets to the point where if we can't even talk anymore and we're scared to say something, even if I don't agree with you, man, I shouldn't sit there and go after your job. I find that disgusting,
Yeah, because then,
to do that.
so then you can't work for the rest of your life because something that you said 20 years ago.
Yeah. And to me, what's weird is when um, everybody just nobody thinks the exact same way. There are Democrats and Republicans and whatever you are. Not every Republican thinks the same way. Not every Democrat thinks the same way, but they're making it that no, you have to think exactly the way we do. There's no
Well, you have to
ifs.
think exactly how we do now,
Yes,
not then.
not then. It's now. It's exactly the way we do it now. And if you veer off of that, if you don't veer off of that, they'll destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll watch, a little bit of The View, and it's one point of view. And that's, to me, I'm like, no, you got to have it 50-50.
Well, that's why it's called The View, not The Views.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. But do you remember a show with Tucker Carlson and this other guy? And they were both on CNN, and CNN used to be such a huge news network. And I think they're only pulling in like 500,000 people now. But they used to be massive, and they used to have Tucker Carlson and Biala. I can't remember the guy's name, but they would get into these arguments, and it was a Republican and a Democrat, and they would go at it. They would literally go at it, and it was good to see. But you could walk away going, I agree with this. I agree with the Democrat saying this, and I kind of agree with the Republican saying that. I don't agree with that. Now, no, not at all. They'll have these shows, and they'll have like a person that's a fake Republican or a fake Democrat on a panel, and you're not a Democrat, you're not a Republican, you're just you're just used to be on there. And
yeah.
this is what's scary, is they're making it into a tribalism where you only get your news, like if you just watch Fox News, that's all you watch instead of watching all the other ones. If you watch CNN, that's all you watch. If you watch uh, um, whatever, and whatever the other one, that's all you're going to get. So if you're not going out there and listening to other people's point of view, that's no good. You gotta go out there and listen to everybody.
Well, I watched those YouTube videos with Steven Crowder, where he says like, "I don't believe in this, change my mind," or "I think this, change my mind." And it's crazy that nobody will even sit down and talk to him, or if somebody does sit down and talk to him, the crowd comes in and starts trying to shut him down. They want to fight him. They want to throw him out. They want to rip up his signs. It's like you can't even sit down. He's telling you, change my mind.
Yes, and that I like that. I like come sit, change my mind. Like let's have a discussion. I don't like I hate you, I'll stab you, whatever. I wish death upon you. I don't like that. I
Well,
don't agree with the guy, but I don't wish death on the guy.
well, you remember that guy that we had on the show the other day, Leon Ponce Leon?
Yeah, Leon, yeah.
He's one of my best friends. We're cousins adjacent. Um, Me and him get in arguments all the time about politics or whatever, and he was telling me something about Biden and the inflation. Biden's causing the inflation, and I was like, I don't know anything about this. I don't know. It's why I said, all right, well, tell me how inflation works, and then tell me why it's his fault. Because, like, I'm being serious. Because if you're gonna say this, I want to make sure that you know what you're talking about. Because I don't know how it works, and I don't know if it is his fault. Because it could be a number of reasons why it's happening. It could be not. It could be out of his control, or it could be something that was put in place like several years ago that is just now hitting to the point. Because when you get elected to be president, you're sitting down in the middle of a chess game that's already like all the parts have been moved already. You only have certain places that you can move, you know. So a lot of times other presidents leave a mess for the guy that's coming in, and then they take all the blame for it. So I will sit down and listen to you. So that's my new argument now. Instead of going, no, it's not. No, Biden's doing great. I'll go, okay, well, explain to me how inflation works, and explain to me why it's his fault, and then I'll listen to you. And
Right.
if it is, then fine.
Yeah, but I
But
like that. I like that. The point is that you're saying explain it to me.
right,
Not I hate you and you suck and you're an idiot, and it's just explain it to me. And if you give me all the info, and at the end of it, I just go, no, I don't agree with you. We
Well,
should,
it's not even agreeing. It's okay. You put out these are all facts. Okay, then you're right. You know, I
right.
agree with you.
Yes.
So,
Or
yeah,
you could, even if they're right and you don't agree with them, it doesn't mean you could still say I don't agree with you, and then just go, um, hey, I don't agree with you. I hate that person or whatever, but I don't wish death upon you.
yeah, that's
That's
insane.
what I find so disturbing. You
And
know,
like, and going on that line of thinking, Antifa, they're the biggest fascists out there because they want to shut down free speech. That's fascist behavior.
I don't know
They're
Antifa.
they're supposed to be Antifa. They're anti-fascist. So they go around to like college campuses or wherever, like say where Ben Shapiro is speaking, and they shut him down. They won't let him. They won't let him speak. You know, they shut down his whatever, and they go around and then people that have opposing views like Republicans or whatever, they come at him with bicycle chains and locks,
Yeah, that to me,
and
that's just nuts, man. To
well
me,
that
it's just
that
nuts.
that is fascist behavior. If you're trying to shut down speech for people that don't agree with you,
Right.
that's not you know.
I know. All right.
So
Listen, thanks so much. It was awesome talking to you,
all right,
and
man.
we'll do another one. All right.
All right, thank you for having me, Vito.
Oh, no problem. Gladwell, thanks so much. All right.
All right,
I'll
thank you.
talk to you soon. Ciao.
All right.